Hi, welcome to Gabie's Knit Goodies. I am Gabie, and this is my cozy little corner where I can talk about knitting with you guys. I have a new addition here. This lovely painting. My daughter actually painted that for me for my birthday, and I thought it would add a really nice bit of color to this corner. And you can't see my picture that I have above here, and you can barely see this one, so that one's like a watercolor based on the Little Women book. It's really cute, but can't really see it. So I hung this painting that my daughter did nice and low so that when I sat down in my videos you could see it. So anyways, you can find me on Etsy where I sell my yarn, on Instagram, both my projects. I post every now and again at Gabie's Knit Goodies on Instagram, and then I also post my hand-dyed yarn stuff on at GKG Yarn on Instagram. I'm on a Ravelry, and I even have a Ravelry group page, but I haven't been super active on there. But I do try to post my projects periodically on there. Yeah, I think that's mostly where you can find me. And we shall start with what I am knitting. This is the Half and Half Triangles Wrap by Purl Soho. It is a free pattern. They have a number of free patterns on the Purl Soho website, which is nice. And it is knit out of my own hand-dyed yarn. It is a giant garter stitch shawl, big square shawl. And I knit the big size, not the bigger size, so the smaller of the two sizes. Right now I'm kind of wishing I had gone bigger, but I haven't blocked it yet, so we'll see. I want to be very gentle with my blocking because it's garter stitch and I want it to keep the squishiness, but I do want it to be a little larger than what it is now. I think I'll do like a whole finished object video on this at some point in time in the near future. Fingers crossed. So, this is me wearing it. And it is done. I think I was very close to being done last time. And now it is off the needles. I say it's done, but it hasn't been blocked, so I guess there's still a little bit more for me to do. This is a Dark and Stormy in a fingering weight. Oh, excuse me, someone's calling. And this is my Flowers and Dirt colorway. These are both fingering weight merino nylon, 75/25, and they are soft and squishy and lovely. This, I did just the wrap and turn method that it has in the pattern for that center spot. And if you haven't looked at it before, it is knit back and forth using short rows. And so you get the two big triangles. I am happy with it. I kind of wish I still had a super mindless, easy to pick up garter stitch project, so I might have to cast something else on. But I'm excited to have this done. So, I'm trying to think, it's been a while since I've done a regular podcast showing like my whips and finished objects. So I was trying to figure out what I had in my last actual podcast, because I did finish, since my last podcast, the Cardi V-neck sweater. I'll put a picture of that up here. And then I did a finished object video on that one last week or a couple weeks ago and put that out there. So if you're interested in how that went and all of the details, I will have the link to that video down below, maybe in a card up here somewhere. And then I also did like a roundup of all of my Caitlin Hunter Boyland Knitworks patterns, because I have knit a bunch of them, and I love them. She has some very fun patterns. Speaking of that, I have a new cast on and one that's like 90% done all at once here because I've been knitting, you know, while I've been doing some other videos that don't talk about my whips. And I just, when I cast this on, I was just like, went on a roll. So, my main work in progress today is the Tecumseh sweater. The pattern is by Caitlin Hunter, Boyland Knitworks. And I have some yarn management things going on here. There we go. It is a DK weight sweater, and it has, I guess technically all over color work, but it's only in like chunks. So you have some stockinette in there too. Look how pretty it is though, and I'm almost done. I just need basically just a cuff. I think I have a couple more rows to knit, and then a cuff to match this one. So, yay! So this sweater is top down, knit in the round, yoked sweater with increases throughout the yoke part, circular yoke. I guess that's what it is here. And like I said, it's very large. You have very wide. It's a very wide sweater with very deep armholes. You can kind of see that here. So once you do eventually split for your sleeve, you don't have very far to go until it's done. My goal with this is to have like a very fancy, maybe fancy is not the right word, but kind of an elevated sweatshirt. There was a little bug in here that I had to get rid of. Okay, so my goal for this Tecumseh sweater was to have a sweatshirt feel, like a super cozy, easy to wear sweatshirt feel, but it be hand knit and beautiful. And I'm pretty sure that's what I'm making here. I've tried it on, and it's very cozy and comfy, and I'm very excited to get it finished. So, yay. Like I said, it is DK weight and top down in the round, seamless. It has short rows for raising the back of the neck. And you have these little pluses as they color work here, and then you have this pretty color work pattern here, and then that repeats periodically throughout the sweater. I did everything as per the pattern directions. I haven't changed anything except for the fact that when I do my color work, I think I forgot to in one of the sleeve rounds, but when I do my color work, I go up one needle size because for me, color work does pull in just a little bit. I have a slightly tighter gauge when doing color work than I do the stockinette stitch, and so you have these big stockinette stitch sections, and then you have the color work sections, and so I would go up a needle size for the color work, and then back down to the recommended needle size for the stockinette stitch. And I think that worked well so that like this hasn't been blocked or anything, and it doesn't pucker. And I think that I forgot to do it here, and you can kind of tell that it's a little wider here than it is right here in the sleeve because I forgot to go up one needle size on my sleeve color work. But I think it's going to be okay. Yes, super excited. I'm hoping that I will get this off the needles and be ready to wear it for Thanksgiving because I think it would be a perfect just comfy, cozy, oversized sweater to wear this Thanksgiving to one of my handful of meals that we're going to have over the weekend, or in the week. So, there it is, the Tecumseh. I don't really know if that's how you're supposed to say it, but... Now, the only issue I have... Oh, I didn't talk about the yarn. The dark one is Dark and Stormy. It is the same colorway as is in the shawl, the half and half triangles wrap, but this is in DK weight. So that's my DK weight's 245 yards per 100 grams. So DK weight yarn, but it is the Dark and Stormy, just like that. So it's got blues and browns and even little bits of like black and gray in there. You can kind of see that there. I really like the bits of brown in here with the blues. Yeah, I really like that. And it's kind of a denim-y colorway because of the variety of blues in there. And so I feel like it's somewhat neutral. This color is Coffee with Cream, and then the green is the Matcha. So I know I have fairly high contrast, I do have high contrast between the Dark and Stormy and the Coffee with Cream, and then pretty low contrast with the little pluses in that green color. And I really like how that turned out. My only issue is I got to right here in my second sleeve, right there, and I ran out of Coffee with Cream. So I've only used 100 grams of the DK of Coffee with Cream, and I need like 10 grams more. So I had laying around some extra fingering weight Coffee with Cream, so it's dyed with an entirely different dye lot, and also I think with different dye powder. Like I've had a new batch of dye powder since I dyed the fingering weight, like leftover that I had. But I decided to hold that one double just to finish off since I just had this teeny tiny little bit left to go. And so I did that. My daughter says I can leave it and it's just fine. I'm still debating. See, right here is just slightly, I don't know, maybe a little bit yellowier than here. It's just slightly different. And I haven't decided if I'm okay with it yet or not. It's, you know, just a little bit of a sleeve here, so I could always rip it all the way back. So then I decided just to go ahead and knit it and decide if I was going to rip back later. I have another Coffee with Cream skein, but I didn't really want to break into a new skein for just like less than 10 grams. I mean, this would probably be like 2 grams. It's just that tiny little bit. Anyways, so then I was doing my Dark and Stormy, and I ran out of that like right here. And I don't remember which skein number I'm on. It's a pretty big sweater, and I'm knitting the second size, or the third size, the medium. Yeah, I think it's extra small, small, and medium maybe. I'm knitting the third size. So it is a pretty big sweater. And I'm either in my 4th skein of Dark and Stormy maybe. Anyways, so that ended right here, and I was like, oh no, now I'm gonna have like this much left and need like to use just a tiny bit of a new skein. And then I found again a skein of fingering weight Dark and Stormy, and that was from my half and half triangles wrap here. And I decided to hold that double and see how it went. And it is different in my opinion. It's not exactly the same, and I'm not sure I'm going to be happy with it, so I might have to use another skein, like break into a whole new skein for the rest of the sleeve, or for this section. So anyways, I ran out right around here, And so then this section is the fingering weight Dark and Stormy. And you can see it is a little different. I don't know, I mean, dye takes a little different depending on if it's a thick yarn versus a thin yarn. But also I'm holding the two thin yarns together. And so in terms of like the little chunks of color, like in the brown and the blues here, you know, that's going to be more mottled because you have those two strands held together. So the little chunking of color is smaller, which makes sense because it's a smaller yarn. So those are the two sleeves. And I can see a difference, but is it enough to break into a new skein or not? I don't know. I'm so close to finishing it. I feel like I'm going to finish, maybe even wear it, and then decide. It might bother me. It's not a huge difference, but it's definitely different. You can see like it's just bigger chunks compared to here. What do you think? Would you break into a new skein or finish it up and say it's good enough? And I didn't go up a needle size here. And I can also see that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I love it. So excited about it. I know that I showed you guys that I picked back up sweater number 20, I think it is, the big cabled sweater by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I have did a little bit on that, but not much, so I'm not bringing that out again. This Tecumseh totally took over my knitting mojo here. Another finished object. My beginner hat here. And it's just the 1x1 rib at the bottom. Can't quite remember my stitch count and stuff. But it's a chunky, like an Aran weight yarn. This is an Nancy and the Moss Covered Rock yarn. I think I have it in a worsted weight online maybe. And then just the little spiral decreases. I was looking for hat patterns. I know that on Purl Soho's website they do have some hats that have the same type of decreases for the crown. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this hat yet. I might give it away. Or I have a craft show coming up. So I could put it in the craft show and see if anybody wants it there. Yeah. One of my kids has asked for it. So we'll see. They always want my stuff, which is a good thing. I am not sure how far along I was on my Pioneer gloves from last time. I'm pretty sure I had done this one. Still haven't picked up and done the thumb yet. And I am at the point to make another thumb gusset on this one, and I just haven't done it yet. This is the Ocean Cliffs colorway. Sock yarn. And Pioneer Gloves is also a free pattern. The other thing I teach a crochet and knitting class. And I was trying to come up with some other ideas that they might want to make here in December. And I found a star pattern. Put the name of it here. It's a free pattern online. And I made one. Isn't that cute? It has like these little bobble crochet stitches, and it's kind of like you would make a granny square, only you turn it into a star. I think it's really cute. I don't know if I'm going to teach the kids this one or something else though. There's a number of ideas out there for some small little crochet projects for Christmas. But I've done that. These I haven't shown you, I don't think. But I had been knitting on some socks for quite some time, and I finished them a little while ago. And then I finally wove in my ends. So it is the Ocean Cliffs colorway. I did the heel flap in Gusset, and I did my heel flap in the contrast color. And then the Gusset, of course, kind of changes the way the yarn pulls around the heel there. But I like them. They're really cute. Hard to show them off here, isn't it? So I have those. My daughter wants to steal these from me, but I really want them for myself. So I think I'm actually going to keep these. I'll give her some other stuff. So that is about it. If you're wondering what I'm wearing, it is just kind of a mishmash pattern derived from a book a long time ago out of a tweed yarn from Knitpicks. So I think it's like the Andes yarn from Knitpicks, the wool, like kind of rustic wool yarn, only in their tweed. And I did some like color blocking with it, and it's kind of cropped. But it has a similar neck to the Easy V, only I have it straight in the back. And this was picked up and knit after the rest was finished, and the sleeves were actually finished separately and then sewn on in this raglan way. So it was a bit of a different pattern, and I don't even remember what book it was from, and I think I modified the book pattern anyways because I knit the body in the round and it was supposed to be all in pieces. So I do love this sweater and wear it a lot. I thought about doing a pattern for it, but I don't know if I'll ever get around to that or not. I don't find I have enough time to focus on pattern writing right now. But maybe one day. Maybe one day. So, I hope you guys are having fun knitting and preparing for the holidays. I think that next time I might do a little bit of a holiday of my gift knits and what I am planning to do, knit and crochet. I actually have some crochet stuff going on too, and what I want to do. So hopefully I can get that in the works and going very soon so that I can put it out before Christmas is already here, which would be good. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.